Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the next session of our ABAP series 2024. Okay, so yes, before starting today's session, please note that we have few days gap in uploading the videos. That is because of Sunday is a holiday, and there we were celebrating the festival Holi in India. So that is why there was no video uploaded during those times. So but our regular session upload schedule will be Monday to Friday. In some cases we are going to upload videos on Saturdays as well, if there is some topics pending on Friday's video. Okay, but mostly we will try to cover a week's topic from Monday to Friday. In the morning 9 a.m. it is going to be uploaded. Okay, so that is very important thing I wanted to share with you all, because I know there are not much people followed me, but still I can say that whoever following me, they can follow this schedule for the next series and next sessions. Okay, so now we will start today's session. Okay, so till now we have covered basic programming techniques, like how to put expressions, how to use different type of loops in ABAP programming. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about data in SAP. That means how many kinds of data being stored in SAP and how they are being stored, and how we are using the ABAP programming to manipulate the data or to give the data a meaningful purpose. Okay, so without going further, let's start today's session. Okay, so the object repository of SAP, that means whatever object we create in SAP, like any table or anything in SAP, it is being stored in a directory. Okay, we call that as ABAP data dictionary. Okay, so it is a central repository where all the development objects, that means your tables programs, are being stored, as well as all the business data or transactional data, anything, those are going to be stored on those in the data dictionary. Okay, so in SAP, this ABAP data dictionary ensures the integrity of the data, the consistency of the data, and the security of the data. Okay, now, so if you are from a IT background, or you have studied information technology, or you have any kind of programming background, then you must know, whenever you are creating a table, you are creating those table indirectly in a database, right? So if you are aware of Java programming or C#.NET programming or C programming, your programming development environment is different, and your database is also different, because most of the cases or most of the people, you might have uploaded your Oracle database in your laptop or desktop, right? And then whatever the tables and data you are trying to create using SQL queries in the database, right? And then you connect the database to your programming environment or IDE using some connections like JDBC, ODBC connections, right? But here, in case of SAP, the development environment, okay, this is our IDE, right? This is our programming where we write codes in ABAP or anything. This IDE is integrated with our database. Okay, like it is very closely integrated with our database. That means SAP has created an application in ABAP so that you can create tables and you can manipulate data in those tables using a graphical editor. Okay, we call this as SE11. Okay, okay, forget about that. Let's go to our SAP. Okay, so this is our SAP login screen, right? So to create a program, you are going to ABAP editor, right? And the T code is SC38. Okay, this one is the T code, and then you either press this button or you hit enter in the keyword. Okay, now give a program name, click on create. I have already created a program, so let's change it. Okay, okay, this session I already opened. So okay, so we have opened the ABAP editor where we can write our programs, right? Similarly, if we are going to create tables, then you need to open an application, or we need to open a database interface using which we can create tables or any objects in our SAP database. Okay, so using this button, right, new GUI window, click on this. So a new loading page has been created, right? Now here put the T code as SE11. Okay, so this is the T code. So using this T code, you can access to the data dictionary. Okay, the database interface is called as data dictionary in SAP. Okay, so going forward we will be using the terminology data dictionary. Okay, so here you can see ABAP dictionary initial screen. Here you have this multiple options like database table. Okay, remove this, then view, then data type, type group, domain, search help, lock object. Okay, so these are the different types of database objects which we can create in SAP. Okay, so the most important things here are tables, view, data type, type group, domain, search help. Okay, so this search help we will know little later while programming ABAP. Okay, while reporting in ABAP. Okay, so let's focus with database table. So let's start creating a table in SAP. Okay, so like this, as always, every custom object you create in SAP must start with Y or Z. Okay, so let's give a table name. Then similarly, there are three buttons: create, change, display. Click on create. Okay, employee table, and this drop down you see, right, display maintenance allowed, with restriction allowed, not allowed. That means this drop down will specify whether this table can be modified. That means that table entries can be maintained using this data dictionary or not. Okay, if you are selecting this first option, allowed with restriction, then you can create entries from here itself. And if it is not allowed, okay, before going to this we need to see this one. Okay, Okay, first thing is, so you have created this table. Okay, then you need to specify the table, that what kind of data this table will hold. Okay, so these are like A, C, L, G, E, S, W. These are the different types of data the table can hold. Okay, so if you are specifying this table as application table, then it can hold master data or transactional data. Okay, so let's see. The next one is customizing table. Okay, so what is a customizing table? So these tables normally hold the data which is related to that particular customers. Okay, let me give you an example. You are running an organization and you have 3 branches. This information also should be stored somewhere in your database, right? So those kind of informations are stored in a table of type C. Okay, similarly, control table, system table. So contents transportable by separate transport objects, change equal to. Okay, so these 3 kind of tables are mostly system tables which are used by SAP internally. Okay, so mainly whatever tables we are creating, these tables follows under delivery class A and C. Okay, so normally this delivery class defines what kind of data, what kind of business data the table holds. Okay, so yeah, so I have given you an example of customizing table and the type of data it holds. Now coming to this master and transactional data. So what is in master data? Say you have an organization and I am a customer, I do business with you. Okay, so my informations you will store under a table, and those tables will be called as master data. Okay, so without my details you cannot create a invoice or you cannot create a billing for me, right? Because to bill something under me you need the basic details of my sales. Okay, that basic details are called as master data. And the for billing, whatever the informations you need, so if I purchase 10 materials, okay, then those 10 materials and their amount, total amount, those kind of informations are called as transactional data. Okay, so when you are going to store the transactional data, then you need to specify the delivery class of a table as A. That means you are storing the transactional data. Okay, so this explains what is the master data, what is the transactional data, and what is the customizing table, customizing data. Okay, so now put this as A, and as this is going to our first table, so we will click the display and maintenance allow. This part I have already explained you earlier, right? So now if you coming to this tab, okay, it has the username, package, original language and creation date. then this is the delivery and maintenance, that is the type of data and how this is going to be maintained, and then fields. Okay, you see no fields. Okay, then input help check currency quantity fields. Okay, now coming to fields. So in SAP we have a concept called as client. Okay, so whenever you see a table or anything in SAP, you always have this MANDT field. This is called as client field. Okay, so this field is always be the first field in a table. This is not mandatory, but it is always a good practice to put this table into put this field into your table while creating a table. Okay, and this MANDT field is the first field of the table, and it is always be marked as key field. Okay, so this is the key field. Okay, and here you can put MANDT. So here you see this field is called data element. Okay, so we will come to that data element very soon, and we will understand what it is. Okay, so now the next is so we are creating the employee table, right? So EMP number, first name, last name is, okay. Now employee number is key field because this is unique to all the employees. Okay, so now let me explain. Do you think two employees can have a single employee number? Not at all, right? If you are a student, can two student can have a single roll number? No, right? So these are unique fields for each student or each employee. Okay, so this must be a key field. Now this is first name. First name can be same for multiple employees. Similarly, last name also can be same for multiple employees, and the age also can be same for multiple employees. Okay, so we are not marking this as key fields. Okay, so now you have assigned all the field names to your table. Okay, now you need to maintain the type of data those field names will hold. So coming to this employee number, so what will be the type of data this employee number would be? Some of you may say numeric, some of you may say character, right? And this first name will also be a character, and the last name also be of characters, and age, of course this is a numeric, this cannot be a character, right? So okay, why employee number can be numeric and can be character? Because the employee number can have some alphabets along with some numeric fields, right? So let's say you are a student and you have a roll number 23, that is fine. If you belongs to branch computer science, then your roll number may be CS01, right, or CS23. So that is why the employee number can be numeric as well as alphanumeric. Okay, so if it is alphanumeric, then the data type would be character. If it is only numeric, then the data type would be numeric. Okay, so here if you see, you can see there is a data element. Okay, and if you see the data type, those fields are grayed out. That means you cannot edit anything here, right? So in this case you need to use this built-in type. Okay, so if you see this field, okay, so you need to click on, okay, this button, okay, this built-in type button you need to click. Okay, now so click this built-in type button. So you can see the data element has been disabled, and this data type, length, decimal places have came, right? So give character 10, the first name would be character 40, or you put a C, 40, S, and 3. Why 3? Some might be able to live 100 years okay, but not 1000 years. So maximum one can live, okay, that is confusing, right? So your age must be 62 years, 70 years, 80 years, at max 200 years, but no one is going to live for 900 years or 1000 years, right? So the age must be 3 character, because there are some exceptions. No, I am wrong, because the 60 is the retirement age, and if you are living in a developed nation, then the retirement age is much less. Okay, so let's make it as 2. Okay, and guys, here one thing to notice, okay, so whatever the data types you are giving here, those are not ABAP data types, okay, those are database data types that you are giving. Okay, because what happens, data LV, value LV, char, type C, length 10. Okay, so here you are giving type as C. Okay, and if I save this and check the syntax, you see there are no syntax errors. But so here, okay, no syntax errors found in report Z Y text 4. But if you are going to the database table, and here if you are giving the same thing, C, length 10, and hit enter, then you see enter a valid value. So that means the types you are giving here is not ABAP types. Okay, these are database types. Okay, so here a very important question is coming. So the number of database types in ABAP and in the data dictionary types are same, or the number of data types in ABAP is more than the number of data types in database, or the number of data types in ABAP is less than the number of data types in database. Okay, so this is a very important question, and this is a certification questions as well, so keep a note of it. So the answer is there are few ABAP types compared to the database types. Okay, so if you see that there are so many database types, but those database types are not in the ABAP types. Okay, in ABAP we have hardly 7 to 8 types, but here you see there are 31 types. So obviously the data types in database is more then the data types in ABAP. Okay, so you have assigned all the fields, save it. Okay, same package. So now you have assigned all the fields of the table, and you have maintained the data types and the length information of those fields. Now the next step is to define the technical settings of this table. You see this button here, this is technical settings. Okay, let me put it. So this button, right, this is technical settings. So you need to maintain the technical settings of this table. Okay, now click on the technical settings. So this is data class. Okay, so data class in technical settings, this is mandatory, you have to maintain. So this means physical area of the database where the database platforms Oracle and Informix, the database table, is stored. Okay, so this is a physical area where the table is being created. So ours is an master data table, right? So I am going to select this application 0. Okay, if it is a transaction data like billing, I have explained earlier, right? If it is a billing data, then you would have been selected application 1. And if it is customizing data, like if you are an organization, you have three different branches in 3 different cities, so those kind of information if you are going to store, then you would have been selected application 2. Okay, and for that the delivery class also should be type C. Okay, that means you are storing the customizing data, and these 3 are used in business warehouse. That is a different solution from SAP. Altogether the BW is a different system. Okay, so let's not worry about that. So now select the application 0, which is needed for me, and the size category, that means how many records the table is going to hold. Okay, let's select the 0. Okay, then buffering information. Next is buffering information, right? So first is buffering not allowed, buffering allowed but switched off, buffering activated. So what is buffering of a table? So whenever you are storing any data in table, it is stored in database, right? So while your ABAP program or ABAP reports trying to access the data from the database, it is going to the database, and then it is going to retrieve the records, and it is going to display the records. Okay, so the database access, the time to access the records from the database is long comparative to accessing the data from a buffer. Okay, so buffering allows you to store the data in the buffer. Okay, and how the buffers are being managed, those are managed internally by SAP. Okay, so for our case, let's not select buffering. So how this buffering is working actually, so if your select statement is triggered in ABAP program to get some data, then first it will go to buffer. If the data can be found in the buffer, then it will take the data from the buffer. If not, it will go to the database and get the records and take it to your ABAP program. Okay, so that is what it is. If you select this buffering activated, then this table will be considered for buffering. Okay, in that case you need to select the type of buffering: single records buffer, generic area buffer, fully buffered, like that. Okay, that means the single records buffer means only one record from the table will be in the buffer. Okay, that means the frequently used record will be put in the buffer. Okay, and generic area buffer. So let's say if you are using a transactional table, so when you store a transactional table like billing or anything, it will be stored. Okay, in January month there are 100 bills, in February month there are 100 bills. So like that, if you are running your reports monthly and the current month is February, then all the records related to the February will be buffered if you select this generic area buffer. Okay, so this will be determined automatically, because whenever you are running those reports, the logs will be stored. So okay, forget about that. So whenever you are running these reports, the reports will take the current date. Okay, and if the reports are running multiple times, then the system is intelligent enough to understand, okay, this report is going to only access those records which are valid for this month. Okay, then all the records for this month will be buffered. So that is what called as generic area buffer. Now what is fully buffered? If the table contents are very less. Okay, let's say your organization has branches in 10 different cities. Okay, and while reporting each branch, the reports being generated for each branch very frequently. Okay, in that case, the branch informations are stored in a customizing table which has only 10 records. Okay, so the system will put the whole table in buffer, so whenever there is an access to this table, it can directly get to the buffer. Okay, so that is based on the performance. Okay, now if a table record is updated very frequently, then there is no point in buffering the records. Okay, but as this is a customizing table and you are not going to open branches every day or close the branches every day, right? So this kind of data normally very stable. Okay, so this kind of data don't change very frequently, so you can put those kind of data under fully buffered. Okay, so now you understand all the concepts of buffering and all the concepts of data class, size, category. Means you have a complete idea of what informations we are maintaining in the technical settings. Okay, so for our table we are selecting buffering not allowed and we are not checking any checkboxes. Now let's see what is under this DB specific properties. So column store, row store, undefined. Okay, that means, so normally whenever you are, okay, imagine a table. If I ask you, imagine a table and imagine 100 records in the table, you will tell that the records in the table are stored in a row manner. But SAP, if the SAP is using a HANA database, then there is an option to store the data based on rows or based on columns. Okay, and this column store is very effective when the table has 100 of fields, but whenever we are reading data from the table, we are using 3 to 5 fields. Okay, then this column store is more efficient. But in our current table we have only 3 fields, and whenever we are accessing those records, we will access all the 3 fields, right? All the 3 to 4 fields. So that is why for us it is suitable to store the table as row store. Okay, because whenever we are accessing the table, we will get whole row, whole data, right? So that is why this row store is suitable for us. Now save this, check the technical settings. Yes, it is consistent. Now go back. So we have maintained the technical settings. Now the next step of the table creation is to maintain the enhancement category. Okay, what is enhancement category? This will specify the table is enhanceable, modifiable or not. So you go to this extras, okay, then enhancement category. Okay, so here this option, right, this extra, you need to click on this extra. Okay, click on this extra and enhancement category. You see the highlighted in yellow. So it can be enhanced character like numeric, can be enhanced character like, cannot be enhanced, not classified. Okay, so we must classify. So whenever we create a table, we must classify the enhancement category in either these four. Okay, that means if we click this not enhance and copy, and if you do the syntax check, you see enhancement category for table is missing, though this is a warning, but it is missing. Okay, to avoid that, you go to extract enhancement category. Okay, cannot be enhanced. That means as long as this option is selected, you cannot change the table. Once the table is created, you will not be able to change this. Okay, if you select the second option, you will be able to change this table by adding more fields of type character. Okay, and if you select this one, then you can add fields only of type character, numeric. You cannot add the fields currency, quantity, those kind of fields you cannot add. Okay, if you select this can be enhanced while creating the table, then there is no limit of enhancements. Okay, you can add another structure in it. Okay, so yeah, you don't know the structure. What is a structure? Structure is a combination of fields, okay, binded together to provide informations, specific information for that table. Okay, if you select this can be enhanced div, you can add as many fields as you want with whatever data types you want. Okay, so for this our table, we have this character numeric type, and if you see this client, we have this client informations. Okay, this is also 3. Okay, so for this let's select cannot be enhanced, copy, save, check, activate. Okay, now you see our table is active. Before the status was new or revised, but after activating you see it is active. Okay, so we have created the table. Okay, now you see this button. Okay, let's now you see this button, small button, right, highlighted in black. So that button will take you to the next screen where you will see the contents of the table. Okay, now see there are no table entries we have created, so that is why we are getting the messages no table entries found per specified key. Okay, so now go back. See, our table has been created. Okay, now let's change the table. Okay, I am adding one more field. So lastly we have selected this table enhancement category is cannot be enhanced, right? So let's add one more field, place, built-in type, character 20. Now save, check, activate. How this has been being enhanced? Okay, so I have deleted this place. Instead of that, okay, so if you are going to see the enhancement category, it is cannot be enhanced, can be enhanced. Okay, so currently it is cannot be enhanced, but when we are adding a field, we are not enhancing it, we are just changing it, because this is a table created by you. Okay, you are able to change this table. Okay, but if it is a table that is created by SAP, then you have to enhance the table, because you will not be allowed to change the table provided by SAP. Okay, so what I am trying to say, let's create one more session. Okay, this button, you note this button, so whenever you want to create another screen, use this one. Okay, so now go to SE11 transaction code and give a table that is created by SAP. Okay, the table name is Split. Now I click on change. Okay, so here you see the information, make repairs in foreign namespaces only if they are urgent. I'm also wondering what is happening. Okay, this might be system for SAP, so that is why we are able to change everything, but it's not. Okay, so yeah, forget that. Okay, that means if I enhance this, okay, this is a structure, Imara is a structure. Okay, save this and check. You can see the current enhancement category cannot be enhanced is incorrect. So it is telling us to select other enhancement categories. See these 3 lines. Okay, now if I go to extras and select this, and copy and save it, check it. So there is no error message. Okay, it is being success, right? So that is the use of this enhancement category. Now delete this one, go to extras, enhancement category, select cannot be enhanced. So I am making my table as it is. Okay, and I have activated. So our table is, again we have reverted our changes. Okay, now our table is ready. Now how you will manage entries in the table. Okay, so go to utilities, okay, and table contents, and you can see the create entries, right? So this is the button you need to click, and then okay, so now the next thing is this kind of buttons are called as menu buttons. Okay, so this menu button you need to click, then table contents, then create entries. So this will allow you to create entries. Okay, so now go to the table, follow the same path and create entries.